Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Wow, you guys did it first time. We have to do it twice. Hey, thank you for making it today. We're really glad that you came in person. We have a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to jump right in. I know everyone's here for Lennox. They don't want to hear me. So let me go ahead and kick things off. Please silence your cell phones, your beepers, your pagers, your iWatches, Android devices. I think I covered everything. Your AI devices as well. Welcome our newest members. We have Elena and Mo join our team. And 95 years in business, Lennox.
Yeah, wow.
Time. So is June the anniversary date?
It's Labor Day, actually.
Labor Day, okay.
Yeah.
So congratulations, that's amazing. Marketing update with that. Have McKenna come on up. Can we first just give it up for staff for all the stuff that they do for us? We are nothing without them. Nothing.
Hello, everyone. Well, this is officially my last sales meeting with you all. Without the baby outside. But yeah, I'm very excited coming up in just a couple of weeks. So I just want to give you guys a quick update. So a couple of things is we do have a marketing request form that some of you guys know about and use, but we are really switching to like full marketing requests online only. And if you don't know where it is on our Kent North office website. So like all of you, you have a website personal to you. Ours is kentnorthoffice.johnscott.com. Underneath the tabs on the right-hand side, you'll see a marketing requests drop-down. So what you do is just go through, you select what you want to be submitted for, and then submit it. With that, there are a couple questions that I've received, but I also want to clarify for you guys. So the questions are, what kind of requests need to go through this form? And the easy answer is everything. all your requests that come down to marketing, if you come to me, should go through this portal. So your flyers, your postcards, your feature cards, perma flyers, your social media posts and stories, and anything that's not under there, that's like other or custom project, all goes through the marketing request portal. And if you already have your own template, so like let's say we've worked with you in the past and we made you a flyer template and kind of has maybe your logo on there or colors, you would just choose, say you have a flyer you want to choose, but you're like, I don't want to use one of these templates, I have my own. There is now a my custom template, and a little thing will come up saying this option is only available for anyone who's recently worked with us to get your own template. So choose that if you want to choose your own template that we've already established prior to the marketing request. If you're like, well, I'd like to add it, that's a great option to choose once you contact us beforehand, so we can set it up to have all your marketing things cohesive. As far as the overall recap, we want you to always submit a marketing request and then follow up with an email if needed. So if you have extra attachments or want to clarify something about your request that you can't communicate in the form, that's what you follow in the email. And then if you are, do you have a request, it's really quick, and some people have a tendency to just come up and talk to me, and they're like, what kind of can you do this? I'm like, yeah, of course. And that's, that's over my, especially right now, it's like right over my head. But if it's an email or it's a request first and then an email follow-up, we're more sure to get it done and efficiently done than word of mouth. If you are in the office, which is totally fine, and you want to come to confirm that we received the request or just to confirm what you meant by something in there, that's totally fine too. We're your on-site support staff here to do that. So the other thing is that there are some people in corporate who are helping assist your guys' requests. And that is why we're making this change really significant. Is it's not always going to be our newest member helping out. It's going to also be some of them too assisting. So that's why we're going through this portal and trying to streamline it just so we can help support you guys better. If we don't have the streamline, sometimes we miss requests, forget, postpone. And just a reminder is if one of you guys has a listing coming up, you guys prepared and see marketing requests, and one of you guys, come the day of like, can I really need this? It does push somebody alongside in the queue. So just be mindful of timelines on each other and submitting requests so we don't have to push one of you guys out for another. We don't like to do that. We don't want to make that the precedent. So I want to be mindful and respectful to each other of our support staff here and making it happen. So just wanted to highlight the timelines of projects. Couple of days, 3 days for all marketing requests. Again, that may be 30 minutes depending on the day, but be mindful that sometimes it's not going to be that 30-minute turnaround. For you guys, it may be 2 days from then to get your flyers and featured cards and social media posts done for that listing or for that open house. For mailers, it's a big one. It renews on the 16th of the month, so the 15th is the last day. However, even in June, we've had Friday the 12th came up, had some requests come in, which means the 15th is the Monday. But that means we have to process mailers that day. So just be mindful of the timeline. It takes us a few days to even get the proof done, send it to you, make sure all the information is correct, and then for us this, in-house print, cut, label, postage to get it sent out. Or if you're doing a letter, print it out, fold it, stuff it, seal it, all of that. It's a big process. So just be mindful of the timeline with that. And then for anything custom, something you don't already have, that is going to depend on the proofs going back and forth, the content, how big the project is, and that will not be in-house. That'll probably go up to the corporate level too, to be helped and help that with. But with that, I also wanted to announce that Ashley back. She is joining our team. Welcome back. She's going to be our new marketing services rep to help with the templated marketing requests, like I talked about through the form. But so she's going to be in-house every day, Monday through Friday, helping out. And then she's taking in those requests and delegating out either to herself or to the people who are helping us with corporate. So if you have any questions, Ashley, Ashley's person. So so just wanted to go over that, John.
Quick one, I saw permaflyers on your first slide. I thought we did that on our own.
Yeah, so as far as the design, though, if you need help getting the design put together, we can send that to you. If you guys need help with figuring out how to order through Bear Printing, we can assist you with figuring out how to order that. But generally, if you just need assistance with how to get the process done, we like to create the piece and execute some of those, and then anything that's outside of like charging your own card, like paying for stuff, we like to assist you on as far as how to do it. But we don't make it a regular practice because there's like 50 of you in the room. So if we did it for everybody, then it would be a bit much to submit all your guys' stuff through Bear Printing. So but Ash is the person to help to get help from. But we just want to make good habits and streamline all those processes so we can help you guys in a more efficient way. So any other questions as far as that's it. Mark your request form and Ashley. Like that.
All right, and we do have another guess the due date scan here. If you guys want to submit your guess on when this baby is going to arrive, we're going to do a contest thing like we did last time. So kind of fun. I'm thinking July 3rd. I'm thinking right before the 4th. It's gonna be early. Oh yeah, the due date is the 7th, July 7th. 7/7. So first baby, having a boy. I don't know. All right, you guys got it. We'll send this out. Well, it is Ragnar time of year. We are all running. We have a group of runners. I have Tony. Please stand up. Yeah. I have Alberto. I don't here. Addison, stand up. Ella, stand up. And myself, I'm already standing. We are way behind this year on donations. This year's really special. The Ronald McDonald House, who supports the Seattle Children's Hospital for all the families to stay right there next to the hospital. And it's covering the uncompensated cares, normally what we do every year. But Ronald McDonald House has lost some funding, and so they actually communicated with Jackie and the foundation And this year, 100% of all the proceeds are going directly to the Ronald McDonald House. So pretty cool that we're doing that for them. They're doing some support too, trying to help get the word out. But we did get a late start in our funding. In your handouts on the last page, there's a QR code. You can click there. Any amount that you can, help sponsor it with is greatly appreciated. So just to know that your money is going towards a really, really good cause.
Use the pictures on Airhead.
It's AI, okay? It's not really new. No, it's. Are you on the board? Are you on the listing board, that is? May, we had a lot of listings. We had 101 new listings come on in May in this office. Really good job, you guys. We are off the board 4 times. We're already off the board twice so far this month. But sticking with the theme of World Cup, we figured it'd be kind of cool to do some different prizes of giveaways. So, Tony, I'll do the honors. Must be present to win. I guess we always have to put that out there.
Please use.
At least, all right. Oh, there's some things. There's a. I don't know what that is. It goes in there. There you go. Little whirly scroll. You get it. Wow. Look at that. All right. Next winner. One more. Mixing it up good.
Oh, Josh Hall.
Josh Hall. Seriously. That's my name in there. Right.
This is tickets to a World Cup game?
Yeah,
Of course.
Don't forget the trophy.
All right. Thank you guys. Don't forget, new listings. Your name goes on the board. When we're off the board, we do 2 drawings. So put it up. After today's session, we do have a special event. Boise's going to host a contractors at closing, kind of a class overview session, happy hour meetup. So if you have contractors that want to learn how to get paid at closing, that they can do the job, so they know what to do. There's been a lot of contractors who have been like, I don't really want to do that, or they don't know how to do it. Really, that's probably what it comes down to. So Boise's going to do that, and that's with Type or Title. It'll be today at 2:30 p.m. right here. So stick around.
Good.
Also, cash certification program. Peteroo is doing that class here for the people who want to get that cash certification. It'll be Monday the 29th from 1 to 30 right here. And don't forget, July 3rd, office is closed for Independence Day, 4th of July. So that is a legal holiday. So again, we're gonna have another Friday for a legal holiday to where you're gonna have to watch for computation of time. So please pay attention for that date just coming out. And with that, I'll have Mr. Aaron Hafner come up for the Fast Mortgage Minute.
Fast mortgage.
Yeah. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you. Morning or afternoon, sorry, whatever. Exactly, whatever, right? Okay. So in today's episode, quickly. So the price of oil, right? So the price of oil is down to $7, under $74 a barrel. When we talked last month, we were over 90, almost 100. So I bring this up because sometimes the oil prices and interest rates are kind of tied together, right? But these guys are in it to make money, okay? They're not looking at what happened to headlines and these other things. They're making money on this. So when these prices come down, that means they think oil is going to be flowing, okay? And so that's why I said they're focused on the road ahead. So regardless what the headlines say and everything else, these guys know what's going on, right? And so anyhow, I guess from that perspective, they're going to be looking back to the economic data. So the Fed and employment and all that stuff's going to be more, it's going to be a bigger deal. Or pressure, well, hopefully inflation will be removed. They've already priced in no rate cuts for this year. So there's not going to, they're not going to cut rates. The market's already priced it in, and there's going to probably be 1 rate hike priced into the rates now. Okay. So with all that being said, you look at the 10-year treasury at 4.509. Okay. compared to where we were a month ago, we're better off, which is great. The other thing is I want to focus in on this margin piece up here. So last year at this time, interest rates are higher because the margin was higher. And I think as this margin, we've talked about like the margin spread or the spread above the 10-year treasury is where you get your interest rates, right? And so as this gets narrower, or before it was probably 2.5% last year, and that's what made interest rates higher. So as things start to compress, even though the 10-year treasury may not drop as much, hopefully we get more squeezing or that margin gets thinner and thinner. Right? And so if that's the case, then I think interest rates are going to stay kind of relatively where we're going to be, right? So what does that mean? That means there's a 50% chance the 10-year treasury is going to be between 4.35 and 4.6%. Okay, and maybe it breaks above that, probably not. But if you fall below that, then the interest rate might come down. But basically, we're going to be stuck in this range for the 30-year fixed, probably around this where we're going to be. Okay, and even if the headlines come out, you look back and see what the price of oil is. If that price of oil is lower and it's not shooting up, then we're going to probably be pretty stable with these interest rates. Okay. So then so today you're at 6.625 or around there. Last year at 6.9. So you kind of get the idea. This is kind of where we're going to be. Okay. Let me just kind of adjust around that. So then one thing I wanted to bring up real fast. I did a class last time. The biggest thing we run into, just bringing a quick product, is what we have is when people want to buy now and sell later, right? I got a guy who wants to have a person that has their house now. They want to sell and buy a new house. Okay, great. Well, the problem we run into is that they still got their old mortgage payment and their new mortgage payment, and it's hard to qualify because their debt to income ratio is over 76%. Well, what can we do to get around that? We have a program where we can get rid of the current mortgage payment that they have, and then they can qualify on a new mortgage payment. Okay? Buy now, sell later strategy. So how do I do that? I can get rid of their existing debt on their house. How do I do that? I can exclude their departing residence, including their taxes and HOA, if they have at least 20% equity in their house. Okay?
At least what?
20%. They're going to list that house within 90 days. Okay? So it's not something you're going to keep and hold. I'm going to sell my house within 90 days because it sounds good in theory, but I'm selling my house. They don't want to keep two mortgages, right? So the person. So anyhow, as long as you have 20% equity in the departing residence and you have 12 months of reserves, basically 12 months of that payment in an IRA account or something like that, you necessarily don't need to count that debt, which is sweet. Okay. This isn't something that is just an investor that we have. We have plenty of different investors and a lot of different programs. I talked last month about the SNAP, we have niche products that we have. So it's just one thing. Just keep in mind, you have someone in that scenario, reach out to me and maybe that's something we can help them with. Okay. Nothing crazy. It's just that you got to have equity in your departing residence and that you're going to sell it. Okay. And there we go.
Right. All right. With that, I'd like to bring up our very special guest, J. Lennox Scott. Thank you.
I'll give you back because I do have to write.
Hello. Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Well, hello. Thanks for being here today. I'm on my summer tour. I get around the whole company. We just have a fantastic team everywhere, but your team is extra special. A lot of great energy. You're one of the top offices in the nation, and it's a joy to be here. So I'm just here to affirm, remind, and inspire. I'm here today particularly to amp it up a little bit because we have some strategies we're going to be moving forward on that I want to introduce today just to, again, get it into the mix for you to take a look at to see when you're going to implement. For some of these items today, I want you to write down 1, 2, or 3 items that you're going to implement after today's meeting and put them in a priority order after you write them down. Because we're halfway through the year. And my new phrase is, what you see is what you get. Because that's it. We know the interest rates aren't going anywhere right now. The market is what the market is. Luckily, or fortunately, I guess I should say better, is that Southeast King County is one of the better markets in the area. Southeast King County, and we'll go through the stats there to show that. So let's take a look. First of all, I just want to congratulate the whole John L. Scott team. We're one of the top 25 companies in the nation. And out of those top 25 companies, we're number 4 for transactions per person. And that's a major accomplishment. And I just want to congratulate you. It's a really great compliment to us. You don't get to number 4 without just having trusted relationships, skill mastery, just walking the positive outcome, everything that we do day in and day out, skill mastery, all that comes forward to be number 4. And we're just a half a point off of being number 2. The reason why I say that is number 1 is a pyramid company called Redfin. They're totally pyramid type of deal. So that's hard to compete against because they have all the deals go through just a few selected people. So, but for the other companies, we're a half a unit off per person off of number 2. We're at that high of a level. So I'm very excited what we're doing. And this just doesn't happen without being proactive and conscious and being present in the marketplace. We are a company of successful brokers and top producers. All of our programs are designed to support you to help elevate your business and elevate your value to your clients, both your sellers and your buyers. That's what we do day in and day out. Our success plan is positive mindset, skill mastery, and personal engagement activities. Positive mindset, we walk in solutions, the positive outcome, we walk in joy. Skill mastery is our presentations, purchase agreements, seller marketing, consultation, buyer rep, and in personal engagement activities. This is where 80% of our business comes from. Personal engagement activities. We can have all the skill mastery in the world, which we do day in and day out. We can have a positive mindset, but unless we actually engage with people, we're not going to do the business. 80% of our business comes from one item, and that's from the people we already know. 80% of our listings. Isn't that amazing? 80%. And I'm going to go over strategies to help us outperform the market. Individually, what am I going to do the second half of the year to outperform the market? And it's all going to come from your database, but particularly engagement with your database. That's where it's going to show up. Okay, this is from Lauren June, our chief economist at NER. We have pre-COVID and then we have COVID and thereafter. Pre-COVID, nationwide, existing home sales were basically 5.3 million on an annual basis across the nation. Then COVID hit, interest rates started coming down in 2020. So we hit to 5.6. The peak year was 2021. We were at 6.1 million transactions. We were up a good 1 million transactions. Then the interest rates went up April of 2022, over 4 years ago now. We're entering our 5th year of higher interest rates. We went down to 5.5 million. Then we are at 4 million basically the last 3 years, and that's the run rate we are on this year for 2026. So we're off 25% from pre-COVID, and we're off about 35-40% from the peak year of 2021. That's what's going on out in the marketplace. And the reason why I'm going this is not to give a downer here to the meeting. We just had a nice lunch and everything. So, but it's just to bring awareness level to what is taking place, because then I need to go through renewal of spirit. I need to say, okay, that's what's going on out there. What is fine. But what am I going to do? What's my game plan for business development activities? Because that's the only thing that's going to generate more business, is me being in contact with the people I know and putting myself in position to meet new people. That's where all the business comes from. We have an expression, flip the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule is 20% implement and they get 80% of the results. We want at John L. Scott to help 80% plus implement and be in the top 20% of the industry. And here's the good news. It doesn't take much. 85% of agents across the nation won't do anything. That's the backdrop. I love this business. So for those that have a positive mindset, and you've heard me say this phrase, what I choose to do and be is me, and what I choose to do is this because I say so. That's what I want after this meeting. I say I'm going to do these activities because I say so. You have permission. And I know I'm affirming. I can talk this way, can I today?
Yeah.
I'm affirming your excellence, but I also want to give some inspiration because we got to get focused because nothing's changing. I can outperform the market because nobody else is doing. They're doing nothing. I love it, and that's where we're going from. So we're going to outperform the market. This is our 6 seasons to the yearly housing cycle. I'm just going to go over this briefly because it works this way every year. I already know what's going to happen next year and the year after that, year after that. It's like Groundhog Day every single year. It happens the same way. It's so predictable. September 1 is the high point of unsold inventory because we have all the inventory combined above the number of transactions taking place. So we build up unsold inventory all summer long, and that's the high point. Just 4 months later, we're at the low point, January 1st, of unsold inventory because we go through the winter. Very few homes come on the market in November, December. Buyers are a little bit more resilient compared to the number of listings coming on the market over the winter. And we have a few homes come off the market, get repositioned. January 1st, buyers come out of the woodwork. Unsold inventory is the low point. Very few new listings in January and February. The biggest price boost happens the first 3 months of every year. The prices hold. You get all the benefit of the first 3 months in the mid price ranges all throughout the summer. The upper end tends to trail off over the year. But that's the way it happens every single year. So we go up 2 levels of hotness right after the first of the year. That's 10 points on 100 scales, 1 level of hotness. That's sales activity intensity indicator we have. We go up 2 levels right after the first of the year. We come down 1 level in April and 1 level in June because we get more listings coming on than homes going under contract. So the intensity for new listings comes down 1 level in April and 1 level in June. And then we go throughout the year, we do it all over again. So I'm going to go over specifically Southeast King County. I think that's the next slide. Yes, it is. So this is for new resale listings in Southeast King County. The black line is normalcy. That's pre-COVID. This year is this green line right here. So we're still below normalcy, but it's up from year 23 and 24. 25 is this blue line. So we had more listings come on. Now, part of this could have been the conflict in Iran. It could have been some of the millionaire tax. Last year, we were running above, and that was because of the tariff talk and just overall market, some things. And I usually look at more listings coming on as a lead indicator to more transactions because a seller is also a buyer. So people typically bring their home on the market because they have to sell before they buy, even though they look before they list, but they have to sell before they buy. So it does indicate there should be more sales in the marketplace. So let's take a look at that for Southeast King County. So this is the number of transactions on a monthly basis of homes going under contract, not closing, but homes going under contract. You can see there's quite a spread here of 30% or so compared to a pre-COVID market. Again, it's just a backdrop for me to get some energy about what am I going to do intentionally. I'm going to do these activities moving forward. You can see the green line here. We're slightly below where we were last year in Southeast King County. Now, over on the east side, the listings on the east side, I don't have here, but it's above, at or above where it was in 2018 because the millionaire tax really came in. Everybody threw their home on the market. And then the tariff talk was also high. But their sales activity is, their sales activity is flat on the east side, and it's about 35% below normal. So the listings were back at normal, but the activity, homes under contract. So it just brings out consultation is the name of the game right now. Consultation and negotiation skills. Those are the 2 things that really show up in this type of market. The other item is every buyer gets a house. There's homes available. Everybody can buy a house, either right when it comes out or a second look market after 10 days, 14 days. They get a house if they're motivated to buy. My consultation, I've got to talk to my sellers, what's their true motivation, and I'll get into a little bit more here in a second. This chart shows when listings come on. This is this year right here when listings come on, and this is when homes go under contract. The most recent month compared to the previous years. This is pre-COVID. So you can see the spread of buildup of unsold inventory. We know May's always the peak of new listings coming on. And then we had unsold inventory. That was actually a fairly good year. But then we had unsold inventory, and we have a lot more this year of unsold inventory. This is Southeast King County. So the conversation changes. What this tells me is the list price, sometimes the list price is just the asking price. Because there's more inventory now, there's more, this first buyer energy over more homes, and maybe the price isn't what it was, particularly in the upper end, isn't what it was in the spring. Maybe it's a little bit lower now as the current market price, and we'll go over strategies here in a second. Okay, this is our sales activity intensity indicator. We've been studying this for 35 years, and we just morphed it into this so we can explain it to people what's going on in the market. So when they say, how's the market? Just don't say great or fantastic. You know a little bit about it. Just you can say, well, we're seeing strong sales, overall strong sales activity intensity. In the mid-price ranges, it's actually up at very strong. That's okay. It's way better than healthy. So you have something to talk about, not just fantastic. Give some perspective, and then you get to ask the questions. Are you thinking about buying or selling in the near term? Or whatever you want to say, but you get to ask a question because they asked you. Now I have my name badge on because I go to lunches and everything. They can't help but talk to me about real estate. I don't talk to them about real estate, but they can't help. And they ask me, how's the market? Well, I say overall, the market's strong right now for sales activity intensity. And in the mid-price ranges, we're very strong. Are you having any plans for buying or selling in the near future? You get to ask that. Okay. This is our housing update. Guess how many names we have in our system? We're not yet at 1 million. We're at 850,000. Wow. Your contacts. The name belongs to you, only your contact information. I'll never reassign it to anyone else. 850,000. But we're only sending out 380,000 monthly housing updates on your behalf. So there's 500,000 people that are in our database that belong to you that you haven't assigned a housing update. So there's some low-hanging fruit here to go back through your list and assign them out. Otherwise, they don't know who you are. They forget your name. That's how it works. They have no clue who you are. What do you think about that? Right? 500,000 names in our system. Let's go. Okay, so we send out 380,000. So I want to say congratulations. We're easily the #1 team in the nation that understand the whole concepts of having a database. 80% of our business comes from the people we know. I want to get their business and referrals from them. And now we go to engagement so that the reticular activation system's on for me. So that when their friends and family talking about buying and selling, they think of me because I've had a recent conversation with them. I've been present with them, either social media or in person. So our average, we want to see everybody with 100 or more contacts. That might be one of the things you want to write down right now. So you're going to have that done by the end of this month or mid-July or by the end of July. Why would you wait any longer than that? This is prime time. People are moving. What are you going to do? Can you write it down? Now, for some of you, you're going to say, well, I don't know how to do it. Here's the magic words I want you to hear you say. May I please have help getting my names into the system? That's all you have to say. Our support team, our leadership team, we're committed to helping you. I had to ask for help. I represent 80% of us in the company that can't do it. I just need you to say the magic words and then let us help you get your names in. Because otherwise there's a slim to zero chance of getting any business. That's just how this works. Okay, next. This is the monthly. We send out the weekly every Saturday, but the monthly you get once a month and you'll get it here in about 10 days. This shows the percent of homes that go under contract the first month, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and don't go under a contract in 6 months. We're up here For Southeast King County for resale, we're at 50s. And we were in the mid 40s of July through November. It went up to 50 in December, and that's where we've been. December is not a bad month to bring a home on the market, by the way. Then we were in the 50s, and a year ago we got up to 70% going under contract the first month. Year before that, 76 was the high. So we're not back where we were 2 years ago, because 2 years ago we had job growth. That's what kept the market going. We had a restriction of supply because people were locked into their 3% mortgage, not moving in the normal sequence, and we had major job growth. Well, we haven't had any job growth for the last 18 months now. So now that's what's brought the market down a little bit for intensity, because there's fewer people moving into the area that have jobs. So that's the reason for this particular market. I'm just trying to give you some background of why. But in Southeast King County, on the east side, we're just at like 35% going under contract the first month. They're basically just barely above a healthy market. You know, that a healthy market is 30% under contract the first month, another 30% over the next 5 months, and 40% don't go under contract in 6 months. That's a healthy market. You're way better than that. You're going to be at 50 here, and you're going to go 25% over the next 5 months, and you're only going to be at 25% not going under contract in 6 months. It comes down to their motivation of the individual seller. Our consultation, their motivation. Two-way street on this deal. This is the weekly. There was 140 new listings last week. A year ago, 161. So we're a few less listings. We're in right around 20% going under contract for the last 4 weeks. The first week over the last month. Before that, we were in the upper 20s back to April, and then we were at 30 back all the way back up to the to January. So that's where we are. So we're at 20 right now the first week. Normally, I just add 20 points the first week, and that's what the 4-week total is. So if we're at 20 here, we'll be at 40 here, and that's considered a strong market overall, according to our chart. Strong market overall for that. Now, if we look by price range, I think there's I need to find a place where there's some number of listings. Maybe one more. Okay, let me go back one. Okay, this is 500 to 750. This is the weekly. There were 55 new listings last week. A year ago, there were 60. Boy, we had a good couple of weeks. We're at low 30s. We hit a couple of 24s, but we're basically at 30 over the last month and a half. And over here, we're at 50. That's a very strong market in this price range. Now I have something to talk about. That's what the chart's all about. You know, so when I'm talking to a buyer, it's not just all about make low offer. No, it's a very strong market. There's good activity for brand new listings. You know, we need to be buyer ready and be able to move forward to make sure you get the house that you see. Otherwise, you go to the secondary market and buy a home that's been on the market 14 days. And you can see what's available for that. So I just want to show you how this works. I just add 20 points because I got to talk to the press today. They don't want to know what happened 4 weeks ago where it got complete. I just add 20 points and then I can talk to them. And I can talk to buyers and talk to sellers out there for that. So I just interpolate the data. Okay, this is 750 to 1 million. You can see there's a couple tens here. And we're adding 15 points. We're at 25. Whole different conversation recently in that 750 to 1 million, because we were running and interpolating the data basically at 50, and now we're down here at 25, a couple of 25, maybe a 30. So we're just down to a healthy market. There's been a market shift last couple of weeks in this price range, 750 to 1 million. And then this is 1 million to 1.5. Again, the last 3 weeks, there's been a market, even though we did have a good backup here. So we're probably right at that 35. So it might be a strong market, a little bit stronger in this price range. And this is a 1.5 million and up. You can see selective buyer activity. It's just a polite way of saying very few buyers in the market. Selective buyer activity. For this, and we might be at healthy for this price range. But boy, we have to check in on motivation. What do they want to accomplish in what they're doing? So for seller marketing strategies, my value is I partner with you as your personal representative. That's what my value is. Data is data. Yes, it's going to be at the nanosecond, AI at the nanosecond, but they want my consultation. They want a trust relationship, highly skilled person to look out on their behalf and get the job done. So I partner with you as your personal representative in communicating, networking with others, all those sorts of items. To position your home within your seller peer group. That's a John L. Scott term, seller peer group. That's a marketing term. The other homes that buyers would also look at in that small area and price range. So there might be 8 homes in your peer group. And some prices, there could be 10 homes. But when I go in for my seller marketing consultation, I'm going to tell them what happened last month in their peer group. Because I want to set the anchor for my conversations every week to talk about their seller peer group. Last month there was 2 homes went under contract, 3 new listings, 4 price reductions. So I can tell them, we want to get positioned to be one of the homes that sells this month. And we know it's all about the first 2 weeks on the market. We saw the stats. We are at 50% going under contract within the first month, and then it drops down to 8 the second month. It really drops down starting week 3. I got one shot at the backlog of buyers. That's what seller listing launch is all about. So that's why we hold each house open Saturday and Sunday the first weekend. It's marketing, which is psychology to the backlog of buyers. You better get in and look and bring an offer forward because somebody else is going to see the house. We're creating FOMO, fear of missing out. And I talk around that. I speak at companies around the nation. They don't hold open houses. I say, are you nuts? It's all about the seller. It's about doing your job. You're getting paid a world-class compensation. Of course we do, because it's all about buyer psychology. I want to amp up the buyers from high intent to bring in an offer forward. And the only tool I've got is that somebody else might see the house. I'm not waiting for a buyer to come in the market 7 weeks from now where I have no pricing tension. I want to be able to get it right day one and hold that house open. In the luxury, I'm going to hold it open Saturday and Sunday, and then probably one day the next weekend and keep that going. My job is to showcase your home in the best light to get the best price. That's your skill, your competency, your networking with other brokers, with the best marketing in the nation. There's a tool you can use, and you might only use this in the mid-price ranges. Use this in the mid-price ranges because you have enough velocity of buyers in that price range. But there's a tool you can use called delayed showings. You go active live. Here's an example. Active live on Thursday with no showings until the open house on Saturday. Form 7I in the MLS. It's legal to do this. Form 7I, and you might go over the form in detail again. Because what the concept is you create inertia and then you flip it into FOMO. So it's live in the MLS. All the brokers can see it. All the buyers can see it on every website. It's available, but there's no showings until the open house on Saturday because you want everybody to show up at once. And because that's what creates the FOMO. So inertia, flip it into FOMO. So if you're going to try it, only do it in selected price ranges. I wouldn't do it in luxury. Luxury right now, I'm going to roll it out earlier in the week and call up every luxury broker at every company that shows homes in the area and just say, I just launched a new listing. I just want to bring it to your attention. Just want to let you know, if you have any buyers, I can get them into the house before the open house this weekend. Or send them a text with a link to the house so they can look at it. Because you're networking with other brokers, luxury brokers, is about bringing attention, focused attention on that property. Otherwise, it's invisible. They don't see it, they're busy. They just don't see it. Maybe their buyer sees it, but they may not see it at the moment. And I want to do anything possible, create something special out of the ordinary and get them in the house, knowing that the FOMO is coming. FOMO is the open house. it's coming and they want to get in right away to that house. For buyer strategies, because sometimes the listing price is just the asking price, I'm going to do a buyer CMA on the chosen property. I'm not talking as estimate. I'm talking about you doing the CMA so that you can help bring confidence for yourself and for the buyer. Because then you get into negotiation. Because this is the price from a month and a half or 2 months ago. The market has changed right now. Here's the new market price. And then I get into negotiations. I got it. They may not take this price. I'm not taking their price. But at least I can give information to the buyer to make an informed decision. Do you want this house? And then it's going to come down to the seller. What's their motivation? Where are they going to? Because maybe they can buy right in that market and then sell right here and get into motion. The other thing about doing a buyer CMA, and if it's below list price, is I have something to give to the listing broker that they can share with their seller. Here's today's market price. There's been a market shift, and here's today's market price. So they can make an informed decision. Do you want to sell it now? Because rates aren't coming down. What is. So this is the market, and I need to be able to have something to give them some information so they can talk to their seller. And again, I'm just throwing things into the mix. You do this day in and day out. I'm just going over some concepts that have come up to me regarding these strategies for negotiations. Okay, seller research. 83% of buyers said they would use the same broker to sell their home in the future, but only 18% do. So we have an expression called, what's the question behind the answer? So the answer is only 18% do. So the question is, why is it only 18%? Why do you think?
No follow-up.
No follow-up. Never called them after closing. Didn't put them into the database. For sure, didn't call them on Happy Home Anniversary. They didn't do anything. 18% do. Use the same broker. Can you believe that? One of the greatest things in the history of real estate, trying to figure this one out. No database, no communication, no business. That's how this works. So 60% of buyers forget their broker's name within 6 months. 71%, Buffini told me it, 71% forget within a year. Isn't that unbelievable? All that hard work went for naught. Because no database, no communication. The other item is 72% of sellers only interview one broker. I love that. If I just do some simple, easy to implement items, I can be the one broker. That's how powerful this is. Because they'll deal with who's ever present with them. So let me talk about that. We brought in Dr. Helen Chung, one of the best presentations we've ever had in the company. It was all about being present with people, creating reciprocity, trust. I look out for them with resources in life and referrals in business. They do the same for me. Our reticular activation systems go off for each other. That's like if you bought a red car, you're going to see red cars everywhere. Well, me for them for me. For them, their friends and family talk about buying and selling a home. If I have a recent engagement, I get the referral. If I don't get any referral, and I don't get their business. So how many of you think of a referral you had, your last referral? Okay, who had a referral? You're thinking about one. Okay, when was the last time you talked to the referral source before they gave you the referral? The last time you talked to them before they gave the referral. How many weeks or months was it? Think about it.
1 week.
1 week?
Couple days.
Couple days? I need to hear it. I can't go on without hearing sound. 3 months? Okay, what else? Anybody?
Couple days. About a month.
A week, month? Okay, 80% is within 3 weeks. You had a conversation with somebody, and that's when you get referrals. If I'm not present, okay, so here's an example. We had one broker that had 30 past closings in August. So he finally decided to do Happy Home Anniversary. He called them all. They're in this newsletter list, so they all know who he is. He called them all. 8 had moved. And they know each other. But he was never present. Two-way conversation. For some, it might be social media. That's how you communicate. For others, it's a phone call and being present with them. he knows them. They know him, but he was never present. And that's where we outperform the market. If we're not present, we can't outperform the market. If they don't know my name, I don't feel good about myself, and I'm not going to contact them. At least they know my name. So when I do contact them, it's not me. Who are you? Type of a call. I'm going to have a database, and I'm going to communicate with my database. Okay, let's take a look here. I'm working this concept. All buyers and sellers in the next 3 months already know they're going to move. Okay, 85% no. But I'm going to go to the absolute. All buyers and sellers already know they're going to move. So the question comes up, how do I become the one they use? How are we going to become the one they use? 80% of they already know they're going to move. Some are already working with somebody, but the rest aren't. 50%, let's say 40% aren't. How am I going to be their broker? Engage with who? With the people in your database so you can get a referral. I got it. Not everybody in your database is going to move. Plus, that's not enough transactions anyway. I need to get referrals. The only way to get referrals is being engaged with the people I already know on a periodic basis throughout the year. That's how we outperform the market. So I was talking to some experienced brokers about what percent of your business comes from referrals from those in your database. It's 20% on average. And then there's a few outliers at 50%. And I said, well, what are you doing? They say, we ask on a continual basis. So what that would look like is when their contingencies are removed, you're going to say, well, exciting day, contingencies are removed, and start packing, we're heading towards closing. And by the way, I know you're going to tell your friends and family that you're packing to move. And sometimes one of them is going to mention to you that they're thinking about buying or selling. If they have any questions or need help, please give me a call. It's not salesy. It's just offering your service that you just performed to your friend. But you ask, 1 minute market update video. Who's doing a 1 minute market update video? Everybody? Is that okay? Don't raise your hand if you're doing okay. Okay, all of us should be doing a 1 minute market update video. Only 30% open an email. 6 times more people will see your video. You send it to your social media, your database, social media, and a boost ad. You will just dominate. And so 1 minute, you just take our housing update, paraphrase, just talk about one thing. Say, happy summertime. The market is in Southeast King County, if that's your group you're sending it to, we're seeing strong sales activity intensity for new listings going under contract. And in the mid-price ranges, it's very strong. If you're then you get to add the anchor. By the way, if any of your friends or family are thinking of moving, if they have any questions or would like help, please give me a call. You get to ask 12 times a year, right there. Bam! Referrals. The reticular activation system stays on at a higher level. You're sending out a newsletter, 30% open. They all see your name, and it just sets a foundation. This takes it to a higher level. But I'm going to talk about the top level in just a moment here of activities that we're going to do. So what engagement activities you're going to do to become the one, and what days and times are you going to do the activities? I know if you had 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each, focused on your database and engagement, you will double your business. That's all it takes. 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each, whatever you teach. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. Okay, 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each. You're going to focus on your database and what engagement activities you're going to do, and then you implement them throughout the week. Double your business. Percentages are in my favor for that. Broker success plan. Having a database, and maybe out of every 100, you have 10 VIPs of engagement activities, be present, and then ask in the appropriate way. Strong foundation. Okay, we're halfway through the year, so it's time to go through renewal of spirit. What's your grit factor? And there's 2 components, your emotional component and then your financial resources, bringing in financial resource. On the emotional side, it's about, we're blessed to be in this industry. I get to fully express myself, be my very best in life, be a contribution, help people move forward in life. I'm walking in joy. I'm walking in the positive outcome. That's on the emotional side. On the revenue side, I bring in revenues to use in valuing ways, whatever it might be for day-to-day, retirement, education, community, place of faith, whatever it might be. So go through your grit factor, because that's what's going to lead into doing the activities on a weekly basis that are going to lead to success. So this is a great time to go through your own individual grit factor, have that conversation. All of us should have 100 or more contacts. Hopefully I saw you all write that down. Are you going to have that done by mid-July? If you, I know half of you don't even send it to yourself. I saw the chart before I came in. Half, you don't even send it to yourself. You can't even feel the joy of seeing your own photo in an email. I mean, this is serious. You are going to walk on cloud nine when you see yourself on that email coming to yourself. And then you're going to say, well, this is too simple. It is that simple. This is not hard. Okay? And for those that are doing it, I'm just here to affirm. Yes.
And you can take a screenshot of it and put it on your stories.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. Okay. Designations: seller marketing certified, buyer rep certified, open house certified. If you do get 5 listings, you become a specialist and you can use the logo. If you get represent 5 buyers, you can become a specialist and use the logo. These are worth 10% increase in value if you put it on all your materials. Once you become a specialist, you can use the logo. Their clock hour classes, 3.5 clock hours, unique clock hours. I would have this done. This might be one of your items. I'm going to have all 3 done by the end of July. Why would we wait 6 months? My value goes up. Plus, AI picks this up. If you don't have these, AI can't pick it up that you're a specialist in these items. You'll have a federally trademarked logo. These are federally trademarked to John O. Scott Real Estate. They're worth about $100, $150 a piece. You get them for free. I know more of you, and if you feel bad about getting some for free, just write an extra check to the foundation, to Ragnar.
There we go.
Write $100 to Ragnar. Okay, attend Ninja launch. How many of you have gone through Ninja? Oh, fantastic. Okay, everybody should go through. You will only do more business. What it is it goes over conversational dialogue for engagement, plus the activities for 3 months. You're doing the activities, you will only do more business. That's the only, we have experienced brokers go through, new brokers, mid brokers go through this. Everybody benefits if you do the activities. Ninja just took their company through. The people that developed Ninja Launch retook their company through because we've amped them up. 34% increase for their experienced brokers over last year. Market's the same. You saw the sales activity, exactly the same, 34% increase. We're mid-year, nothing's changing. There's no magic formula anymore. No more Fed cutting interest rates. None of that's happening. That's off the table now. I got to show up. What am I going to do in this market? And then mentorship, if you're new going out and listening, of course, you chat that out with somebody to get your presentation right. Personal engagement activities, happy home anniversary. Is that one of your items? You're going to take this on. When Savannah is leading the conversation for us, when she started this almost 2 years ago, only 3% of agents across the nation contact their past buyers about happy home anniversary. That's where we were. We were at 3% because nobody ever focused on it. I'm kicking myself. I didn't do this 20 years ago. 3%. Now we're up to 35%. But only probably 15% are doing the actual call to get business, but at least 35%. But we got stuck there for a year at 35%. You know what happened? Only 35% of us have the aptitude to write a card. You can laugh about it, but we found out how to do it. Send a text. 100% of us can send a text. Happy 8th anniversary, home anniversary. Hope you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. If you have a photo attached to it, whatever you want. That just sets the stage for your phone call. Because then it's a happy call. And if they get the card or they get your text ahead of time, because 100% read a card or read it or read a text, they're going to say, I can't believe it's been 8 years. And you can put that in the text if you haven't talked to them for 4 years. You can just say, I can't believe it's been 4 years. I just noticed it's your happy home anniversary. Just wishing you all the very best. And then you call and you have a happy call. It's a care call. You're just checking in. You will only get their repeat and referral business forever. And we're teaching the lost art of engagement. If we contacted all 140,000 people, we would double our business because we're not doing it right now. And then we will do the other items throughout the year. Now, for those new to the business and you don't have a bunch of happy home anniversaries, remember I talked about your VIP group out of your first 100 people, names. Do a home valuation for them on the anniversary day of when they bought the home. Take it over to them or send it to them. Adopt a client into Happy Home Anniversary. Just say, you're one of my valued, I see you as a valued person in my life, or whatever you want to say. Do it. And then you enroll them to Happy Home Anniversary from that point forward, because you're the person. Tell them how much equity they have from when they bought the home. Something like that. Adopt a client. We can all do this. Are you going to do 3 by the are you going to get your list out and then investigate when their anniversary was? That's what I want you to do, because you may have one in July. They may have bought their home in July. This is the big closing time frame of transactions is all throughout the summer. You're going to have people that moved all throughout the summer. And so you're going to get results on this. What do you think? Is that not a good one? Or maybe you're an experienced broker and you want to amp up the amount of people in Happy Home Anniversary. Adopt your sphere. Adopt your investor properties. Am I running out of time?
No.
Okay, look at your papers. You're looking at your body and your papers. It gets me nervous. Okay, but Happy Home Anniversary. Let's get it going. 100%. I walk in absolutes. I know it's only going to be 80% plus. But why would it be 100%? If you write it down, you're making a commitment. This is about personal integrity of my word. I'm choosing to do this because I say so. I give you permission to do the activities. How's that? Right? Let's go. Okay, annual home valuation. We have some brokers that do Happy Home Anniversary, and then 3 weeks later they do the valuation. Or if you're a new broker, you just do it. We have some people. Have the property tax cards come out yet? Yes, I would do it right now for my VIPs. I would do a home valuation for it right now. Send it to them. Just say the property tax assessments cards are getting ready to come out. I thought I'd do this valuation for you as of January 1st when they do the valuation. And then you get to call them when the card comes out. You get 2 every year. And next year you do it on January 1st, and then you call them, and then you get to call them when the card comes out in August, July or August. You get 2 a year just on property taxes. And here's the great news. Nobody in the nation does this. They don't understand the concept of being present. And this is information. It's not salesy. They're all worried about property taxes. Inquiry minds want to know. That's why they'll go to Zillow. They want to see what Zillow said. Forget that. You do the valuation. You control your destiny for this. So you can do it the first of the year or your VIP or on the anniversary. Market update video, I already talked about that. I'd get on that 2 seconds. Are you kidding me? We're in the video, everything. Does anybody watch YouTube on their at home on a screen? It's no longer a TV screen. It's a streaming screen. Do you watch it? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Okay, where's your 1 minute market update video? It's a video everything world. We've been on this for about 5 years now. We've been talking about this. Step into it. They already know who you are. This is great. It took me 30 seconds to get my first video. Record, restart, and I nailed it. 30 seconds. It's only half a minute to a minute. Pick one topic. That's all you have time for. It takes me that long to get my name out. Okay. We're doing a mid-year housing forecast. We send that out to everybody receiving the housing updates. For sure, you call all your VIPs and you call your bankers, your builders. You call up your investors. And you just say our CEO puts out a housing forecast. Just want to follow up to see if you had a chance, to see it. The market right now is very strong in this market, in the market area. But, get your script down. It takes me about 20 minutes to get it down. But you're leaving a message and you get credits just by leaving a message. Because it shows you care and you're calling and they see that as being present. That's how that works. And then office client events. I know you got them. In-person situational activities. So if 80% of my listings come from my people I know, another 20% on average comes from these things, just being in position to meet people. Listing launch with early entry for neighbors. I gotta beat the neighbors. I gotta put the sign up, early entry for neighbors for the house, whatever hours you want on that. Special kickoff weekend, I'm putting that up on the post sign. Because I want all the neighbors to see it driving around that I'm actually doing marketing and they're invited. It's a whole different thing to be invited than just showing up as a neighbor. It takes away all that psychological damage. Okay, service clubs. Again, I wear my name badge. Referral networking groups. I belong to 2 groups. I get 2 pieces of business out of each group. 10 CEOs and I meet 8 times a year. I'm the real estate guy. The other group is my boys ski group. There's 8 of us. I get 2 pieces of business a year because we meet first Wednesday every month. That's just how it works because we're present with each other. I support them in life and business and they do the same for me. The attorneys are loaded with business. If you know one attorney, then you can do for all the attorneys, sign them up for a housing update. And what I do for companies is I'll send in the housing update and then I call them and I said, I'm the guy. They said, the guy for what? I'm the guy sending you the housing update. Would you like a forecast for next year? That's how it works. You're setting the stage. The book is pre-suasion, pre-suasion. The best marketing book in real estate. There's only one chapter that's flim-flam. Forget that one. But pre-suasion, listen at 1.5 speed. It'll really culminate all these concepts for you. Okay, I'm moving. Different topic. Zillow showcase. Is anybody done with? Oh, fantastic. Nice going. Okay. Did you tell us?
No, I was waiting.
Okay,
I
awesome.
just got the text that's from John Hunter.
When does it start?
Now.
Now, okay. So we just upped our contract. I signed an enterprise agreement. So we got the cost down to 200 from 280 down to 200. So only to enjoy it. Starting today, right?
Yep.
Starting today going forward. So don't leave me hanging. I signed an enterprise agreement. So don't leave me hanging. But I want to tell you about Zillow Showcase. 70% of buyers look at Zillow. The CEO of Rocket Redfin, only 25% look at Redfin. Who wins? Checkmate, right? 76% more page views if you do a showcase versus a regular listing on Zillow. 76% more saves, 91% more shares. I love it because I love playing around with the furniture back, the virtual furniture back and forth and all the other things that come with it. We have some brokers that are every one of their listings is Zillow Showcase now because they want to dominate the market presence in their geographical area. Or maybe you have a geographical area and say all listings in this area are Zillow Showcase because that's just who you are in that local market area. The book Becoming a Category 1, the same attention getting service every single time for every customer. That's what shows up to create yourself as a Category 1 in the view of the universe in that geographical area. So for sure, every luxury property, and I would just take it on. Can you imagine having 10 listings and for $2,000, I can dominate a geographical area of my market presence? You can't buy that. Zillow gets 200 million unique visitors. This is a multi-million-dollar campaign that only cost me $200 a listing. Are you kidding me? This is off the charts of how good this is. We're the #1 company. They told us, you're by far the #1 company that's done Zillow Showcase listings. We did 600 in 2 months. That's how dominant this is. You know why we have such success? We have a program called Seller Listing Launch. It's all about the launch. It's about bringing in 30% extra effort at the launch, the most critical time in selling a home. That's why we did 600, because we understand the concept of the backlog of buyers. We got 2 weeks for them. After that, there's less pricing tension in the market. We got to get the home sold in the first 2 to 3 weeks. That's why Zillow Showcase is so important. It's seller listing launch on steroids. That's what this is doing for us. Okay, and plus it's got all these items. What you do is Zillow Showcase listing. Zillow tracks all their algorithm tracks buyers that are looking at your geographic area by price range, and they send a notice out to them when your listing gets launched. You will never know who's looking at homes. It goes directly to the customer that was looking, the potential buyer. And I heard this morning there was 180 emails sent out, 140 people opened them. Potential buyers looking at listing. That alone for $200, are you kidding? Target marketing like that? What else would you have to do to meet 140 people already looking in your geographic area and price range? It's priceless. You would never be able to afford it. So we're riding the coattails of the Zillow traffic. That's what this is all about. Pretty exciting. Okay. Next on AI everything world. Everything is going to go to voice activated at the nanosecond. We're in the AI world. But we win if you have your suitcase packed. So what do you need to put in your suitcase? Relationship database, number one. If you don't have a database, relationship database in the AI world, you're toast. Not going to happen. In the past, you just flat out did business. In the future, there'll be no business. If you don't have a database in the AI world, everything's going to be at the nanosecond. They won't even have a thought. It's who's ever present in their life, their reticular activation system periodically throughout the year. That's why we're going to do the activities. I know I'm being pretty straight up today, but I got to put the warning out. I've seen it. I've been to several conferences. I know what's coming. You win if you have a database and you're engaged with your database. It's your skill mastery, your networking, all that. Consultation and negotiation skills are the key. Now, I've taken all the negotiation classes out there. I'm not impressed. We're going to look at it more later in the summer about getting better strategies on negotiations. I've gone over a few of them today, but there are more. Personal engagement's the key. I went over 5 items you can easily do throughout the year that other people won't because you've got the grit factor. I want you to make yourself a little poster, put it up your deal. I got grit, right? That's it. That's your affirmation. I've got grit. I do the activities to support my clients and my career. Okay. Personal representation, that's our value. Transactional excellence is what we do. AI broker branding. Okay, this is one. Your About Me page. Did you know on johnlscott.com, you have an individual website on johnlscott.com. It's not just a web page. You have your own personal website on johnlscott.com. But here's the problem. AI can't pick you out. Because your About Me page was from 30 years ago. I know, because I look at them. They're from 30 years ago. There's only maybe, I'll be nice, 20% of our brokers that have updated their About Me page. AI, you're invisible in the AI world. Can't pick you up. That's one of your items. I want this done by the mid-July. Ask for help. There's training on this. Let's get it. That's step 1 in the AI branding. Step 2 is get your some testimonials up there. Step 3, get your videos, your 1-minute market update videos. Start that practice. You got to be somebody. Now, I know I used this joke before, but who saw the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin? Okay, remember in this movie, this is a long time ago, so some of you haven't seen it. Steve Martin went to the phone booth. They used to have phone booths with the telephone book. And he flipped through the telephone book and he found his name. And he said, I'm somebody. Well, are you going to be somebody in the AI world or not? Because right now, we're invisible. The vast majority of us are invisible in the AI world. Do you have your designations? Are they on the front of your website or in the script? Do you have your awards up there? Do you have a reasonable photo from, not from 20 years ago? Because they're gonna see you. You know, these are just some, Savannah's got 5 items, I think, and in order of pecking order. The first one is your About Me page. Get that first. What market areas you cover? For those that are really been in the industry a while, how many hundreds of homes have you done? You know, those sorts of things, it'll pick it up. You know, what's your specialty? All those things come into that. AI broker branding. It's your brand. This is it. Everybody's been wanting to do their brand, right? This is your time. AI will pick up your brand. But if you don't do anything, you're invisible in the AI world. So thanks for letting me go over that. Okay, the foundation, let's support the run. And this is what we're about as a company. Transactional excellence is what we do within our business, but it's all of us together, our powerful spirits that create the environment at John L. Scott Real Estate of living life as a contribution. So thank you for having me here today.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but on your websites, actually AI is turned on now for all those individual brokerage websites. So you guys now have AI on your search page. Someone can go to your website and literally click on the search and just talk. Like, find me a 7-bedroom home in Edgewood. It will literally calculate, look through everything, and show all the listings that match whatever the client says. So that was just turned on this month. So just constantly updating the technology for everyone. So, question.
Yes, they had a class on that. Is it posted somewhere?
Recorded. Yeah,
Recorded.
we'll send it out. That is it. Thank you guys so much for making it today. Really appreciate you all. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you.
All right.